Welcome to Karen Rolton Oval for the grand final of the statewide Super T20 Cup, the women's version. Already seen the men's played here a couple of weeks ago, and that was a cracking final. No reason to believe that today will be any different. Earlier on, the toss has been run and won. West Torrens won that, and they've elected to have a bat. They've put Kensington in the field, so they've decided that chasing is going to be the way to go. Still finalising a few of our cameras from our superb crew out here. So it's running at square leg at the moment. So both of these sides have been in pretty good form, as you'd expect, leading up to the final. 6 wins for Kensington, 7 for West Torrens. Actually played each other back to back in rounds 3 and 4, split the difference there as well. So not too much between them. It's going to be Caitlin Pope to open up. Couldn't beat Jamison there at that point. Caitlin Pope, the left armour, starting around the wicket. Slight change in the field. One drops back now to third man. Now it looks like we do have full camera vision going, so Pope again. Can't beat the fielder in. Tight in there at square leg. If you're just joining us, still very early on in this T20 final. Alan Fuller whipped over the top of the fielder in there. That short square, plenty of acreage out there. They might be able to chance to get back for 3. Thought about it now, they're coming. And made it home safely. Pope just beats the outside edge. But Trelaw just fishing for that one. Shape away this time, Pope. On beats the field, might run all the way. And that's going to be the first boundary of the morning in the first over. Played it well, kept it low. So just beat that fielder in there, Jamison at point. Raced all the way to the boundary for 4. The score moves up to 8. Again, Trelaw played and missed. No, she didn't miss it. Got a bit of it on the outside. Angela Trelaw not overly happy with it. Look back at the umpire. Caitlin Pope was pretty ecstatic. You can still see Trelaw not happy with it. Have a second look at the umpire. Just fed at the outside edge. Through to the keeper in Church. Although she Went for a few runs in that first over. Should be pretty happy with the quick wicket, the early result. Trelaw is on her way. It's going to bring Taylor McGrath to the crease. She won't be on strike. The wicket was taken off the last ball of the over. Averaging 68 in this competition. Plenty of that on the back of the 57 not out. The Kensington skipper is going to bring herself on from the northern end, Sarah Lowe. So it's full, driven, can't beat the fielder in there at short cover, no run. This time with her toes, got some coverage out there. Ella Smith set deep at deep square, saving any run. It's going to be McGrath to face her first ball of the day. It's driven well again. Eliza Dodgery doing the work in there at short cover. Got a bit to do already this morning. Beautiful morning it is as well. 31 the top here in Adelaide. McGrath, this one. Didn't beat what would be called a normal cover out there. The second cover in there, the short cover, that's Doddridge, is strengthening that offside. Low again, nice and full. McGrath taking on the drive, can't beat mid-off this time. Adelaide live stream bringing you all this action. Full, outside off stump, ends the over. A good one, a tight one, just a one run off it, 1 for 9. Certainly going to be a big force in today's game, Sarah Lowe. In this comp, made over 150 runs, taken 10 wickets. So has an impact in most games. And if they can either shut her down with the ball or get her out cheaply, it's going to go a long way to helping this West Torrens side win the game. Conversely, Brooke Harris, major threat as well as far as the Kensington players are concerned. Pope again, length good outside off stump. Well, I thought she didn't get any of it, but in result was a fairly chunky edge over the top of what would have been a slips cordon had there been one. But Sarah Jamieson down there at third man did the fielding. Kept it to 1, brings McGrath back on strike. Pope again, her line impeccable outside off stump. Did all the damage in round 3 when they played West Torrens. Picked up the figures of 5 for 10. And full wide outside off stump, called wide. A 1 to the score, so it keeps ticking along. You see there on your screen, the Adelaide live stream coverage. All the facts and figures you need to know. Pope again strays on the middle and leg. McGrath, who does have a strong leg side array of shots, just works at the mid on. 1 more. Falconer really throws the kitchen sink at it. Didn't get any of it though. Through to the keeper in Church. Like the look of it. And that shot brings a change in the field. Jamieson comes up from third man outside the ring, so just inside the ring, and they've pushed a long off back to counteract that big off drive that she plays. Full again, just push the short cover, no run. Sarah Lowe does the fielding, ends the over. 1 for 12. Three overs gone in the state, I'll get that right, probably in the 40th over. That'll come out of my mouth okay. The Statewide Super T20 Cup 2019 here at Karen Rolton Oval. Sensational setting, and as I said, the conditions couldn't be any better. 31, not a breath of wind. Low full. McGrath just push it to cover, and again it's Jamieson who does the fielding. Got the magnet on at the moment. Early on in the 4th over, scoring at just under 4. Another big shot, this time from McGrath. So anything in the zone for either of these two players, from McGrath or Falconer, you can certainly see they're not going to hold anything back. That's what we come to expect, though, the T20 format. Falconer this time takes the outside edge, runs away to third man. Another one of her score. Massive run score in this competition is Falconer, 185. She's put together. Averages 46. Top score of 70 not out. That one wide through to the keeper in Church. Getting that one just to bend away, the skipper. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage throughout the season. Plenty of rave reviews through all social media formats, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channels. Low to McGrath again, she gets a good piece of it. Going to be close if she hits Jamieson. Yeah, direct hit might have had her in trouble. We had a great view of it from Cat doing some great work on the side on camera. In came Jamieson, the pickup was good. And I think if they had hit, they were going to spin around straight away and have a look at us. Can't beat point. Ends the over. A good one from the skipper in low. Saw her demolish Sturt and put on a real batting display earlier in the year. Did everything that day. It's going to be Pope to continue. McGrath works it on the leg side, favourite area of hers. No one at square leg. It's going to race all the way for 4. Beautiful piece of batting. Can't stray on the middle and leg. Talia McGrath, she'll work you through there every day of the week. Whether it be along the carpet or the aerial route. It's one better line from Pope. Compact in defence, Talia McGrath. One for 19 they are. Just chunks that one. The cover. Those who love their stats. West Torrens have batted first 6 times. Shot from McGrath, smoked it through cover. Couple of boundaries in this over. First one was a great bit of batsmanship. This was just raw power, right in his own. Planted that front foot, swung her hands through it, and again it brings a change in the field. I'll finish off that stat because this over is getting exciting. And they've won 4 of those 6 games. So only the 10 games in the competition to date, so they've their conversion rate when they bat first, it's pretty high. Probably have had something to do with the decision to bat first after winning the toss. Edge, it's going to beat the slip as well. McGrath now decides to go for the run. Might be too in it if she gets back on her bike. No. Jamieson does the fielding. The edge caused a bit of confusion out there in the middle. McGrath thought she was either going to go or it was going to race away. She ended up standing there. Ellie Falconer were yelling at her to get going. She knew there was runs to be had, but it wasn't going to be 4. The result was the end of the over. A good one for West Torrens. Score now up to 1 for 24 at the end of the 5th. Run rate just under 5 now. And they'll be pretty happy at the moment with the West Torrens coaching box and fans. And our scorer for today, Indy, who's come up to give us a hand. So we thank her for that. Might throw the cans on her a little bit later on and ask her a few questions. But changing the bowling now, Doddridge into the attack. Oh, McGrath on the back foot. The pull shot was all right, the catch was even better. So McGrath's got to go. I thought she got it better than she did. Catch taken out there by Bella Smith, I believe it was. Ended up hitting it straight down their throat. Doddridge just dropped it short. He did get it high on the bat, top edged it. And Bella Smith, sitting back on the rope, didn't have to move. Great bit of camera work and great presentation from the Adelaide live stream crew. Great sight for the Kensington fans, not a great one for the West Torrens fans, as Talia McGrath, who looked to be in pretty good touch, walks off in this 6 over, 24 on the board. And making her way to the crease is Brooke Harris. So she's going to have a vital part to play as far as the Kensington side goes. Should be high up on the list of players they need to watch out for. Limit her damage with bat and ball. So Sarah Lowe be feeling pretty good about herself at the moment, bringing Doddridge into the attack, getting the wicket off her first ball. Eliza Doddridge with 1 for none will be probably feeling even better. It's been cramping up Falconer. Doddridge full. Oh, that's beaten the fielder. And Nellie Falconer's going to get herself another boundary. Hit it pretty crisp. That's the beauty of this format. Any batter that is in just has to keep going and going, so you never get that dull period. Sarah Lowe, after what seems to be the case so far, any boundary has brought a change in the field. She's dropped herself back to long on, and third man's come up inside the ring. Pushed out to point, no run. Score stays at 28. 2 wickets in the shed. Ends the over. Doddridge's first, a successful one. 2 for 28, 6 overs gone. Still maintaining that scoring rate of just under 5 and over. If they can keep that up and around 5 and over up until number 15, 16, and have a couple of batters still in the shed. Or at least a set player in. You can really motor along. But all eyes at the moment on Brooke Harris coming in under a cloud. Possibly won't bowl. Only bats about 3, opens a bowling, bats 3. Down the order today. Sarah Lowe's going to make another change in the bowling. Taking a long time over the field. Harris, so she's running through sand as she goes down the track, so whatever that injury might be, it's causing her a bit of grief. Falconer smashes that one over the top of cover. Cries of oohs and ahs from the Kensington players. It was going to be a ripping catch if she hung on to it because that was motoring. 4 more. Doddridge is the fielder there. Couldn't get a hand on it. Shea Daly's continues with a right arm offies. Down the track, couldn't beat short mid wicket. A bit of work there. The longer this innings goes, the more damaging Falconer becomes. Thrown up this time. Ellie just picks it up down the track, couple of bounces over the rope. Just waited beautifully for that one. You'll see it here again on the replay. Just hopped down to it, got it on the half volley. Really just stroked it back over the bowler's head for another boundary. She's up to 18 now. That clanking of the mic means that Sam Tugwell's joined me in the box. Tuggers.
G'day Pickles and everyone tuning in this morning. Fantastic conditions, absolutely perfect conditions for what we've got ahead of us. A final between two fantastic sides, and we've already seen a good little contest early. Very balanced number of runs, but also the wickets coming. What do you take away from the first 7 overs, Picks?
Oh, both sides I think would take it if given it. Kenzie's would be maybe either love another wicket or maybe 7 less runs or something like that. But West Torrens would be pretty happy with the the run rate and only 2 down. Harris digs out the Yorker.
Yeah, obviously in T20s, it's girls don't score much more than 110 or so as a bit of an average. So if you can get at least over 100, you're always really in with a chance, and right now they're in a good position.
She certainly looks to be labouring, doesn't she, Brooke Harris?
Yeah, well, as you said, she's under a little bit of an injury cloud, which is very, very concerning for the Eagles, because really she's been one of their top contributors for the year. 162 runs with the bat, number 4 in the entire women's T20 comp this year, and has been number 3 in terms of wickets in the comp as well. So that's a really big blow if she's going to struggle to bowl, and even out there with the bat is finding it hard to really get into a groove. We'll see how she plays it out. Doddridge bowling.
Falconer's going to zip off for 1. Might be some overs. No, Brooke, I think straight lines from Brooke Harris is going to be. No turning on the spot.
No.
And it's going to be hard yards for her to see her getting through the 20 on the field. Can't really hide anyone anywhere in this format.
Put them at fine leg, but even then, it's still, they move around a fair bit, and it doesn't often go there, and you need that extra fielder. So
this time, big swing and a miss from Harris. That might be the go, though.
Well, she's going to be out there.
Deliver.
Yeah, that's it. She might as well just go hard. She is good at it. She's scored 71 not out during the season, so she does know how to score big runs and nice and quickly. But obviously today, very different story. Wickets in the bag are going to be very, very important for the batting side.
This time plays straight down the ground. Gets herself 1.
And also one big contributing factor as we, I believe, end the 8th over. The massive part for the She-Eagles, as they like to call themselves down at West Torrens, is that Brooke Harris is one of the best economy rates in the bowling department than anyone as well in the comp. She's under 4 runs, and not too many players have under 4 runs and over. So with the ball, that's also a big loss, because one of their real strengths, West Torrens, so far with the ball this season is keeping teams at low scores and really, you know, strangling them in the middle overs and suffocating them for runs. So with her out of the attack relatively, if she bowls, it probably won't be at her best. She may leak for some runs, and there's 4 overs of, you know, less pressure that West Torrens get the opportunity to put on.
Tugs has put the kiss of death on her. He can.
Well, I hope she rises from the ashes, Pickles. I'm just pointing out it could be a much harder road for West Torrens than normal.
Shea Daly with her off spin to continue. And it's Brooke Harris, the wounded warrior, on strike. This time she lost it over square. He's only going to get 1 for it. Or she wants to come back for 2. Trouble at the non-strikers end. Daly doing her hair, but still had enough time to take the bars off and get the run out. Oh, you don't see that very often. The hairdressing wicket. It's a replay from earlier on when went down the ground, but
goodness me, that is one of the more funny wickets you'll see, and you may not have seen all of it on camera, but here, watching it from side on, you got to see both ends at once, and Daly was just trying to put the hair back. She had obviously taken her, what do you call it, a hair tie? She's taken it out, trying to put it back in, and in the works, the ball's coming directly at her, and a run-out opportunity. She managed to get it done in time, and took the stumps with metres to go as well. It was quite a considerable run-out.
Yeah, I had a decision to make. Do I throw them down, or do I race back and take the bars off? She took the safe option. Still had enough time to beat the non-striker, being Falconer.
And Carla McGrath will be the new batsman out to the centre. She's had a pretty good year as well, averaging 23 with the bat. And she's up there in one of the top scorers and runs for their side. So good middle order, really good batting list here as well here for West Torrens. So I think they'll pride themselves on trying to make a number of runs when they get the chance.
I think probably the big contributing factor to that wicket, I'll go into in a second. Tom Harris, can't beat mid off, was the fact that Brooke Harris was just labouring with the injury, and I think that Falconers thought that there was never, she was never going to go for the two, never attempt the two, but this time she's back, just turns it to mid-wicket.
And
No
it's such a vital wicket as well, because she's clearly one of the best batting players, batsperson in the competition. And
batters is fine.
Yeah, batter will do.
Down the ground goes Harris, underneath it and taking it. Well, they're dropping like flies at the moment. West Torrens. She skipped down the track, got to it beautifully, but fielder back there at mid-on.
Well, that there at long on, that's a good catch. She came a few metres in from the boundary.
Might have been the skipper in Sarah Lowe. She came, yeah, as you said, scooting in off the boundary herself. Still had plenty of work to do. Made the yards, took the catch.
Well taken. Yep, believe that is Sarah Lowe out there. Well, a very important moment now, because there's a lot of work to do, a bit of rebuilding now for this side. I think it's Carolyn Ward coming out with the bat now in the number 41 for West Torrens. A big opportunity for her as well, but it's that middle order. It's time to consolidate for West Torrens. 4 down for 40. We were just saying before, they look good at 2 for 29, and sort of runs are there on the board just to get them started, and they need to then go on with it. But a lot of work to do now, 4 down. And still majority of the overs left. Another look at the wicket. Good bowling enticed her to come down the wicket. Chose to, played the big shot down the ground, and the catch was taken. Sarah Lowe, one of the only few players on the boundary at the moment. Long on, deep mid-wicket and out at square leg as well. McGrath will get a chance to seek a bit of strike here for the first time today. Daly to bowl. And kept out straight away to end the over.
Massive amount of responsibility on Kayla McGrath's shoulders now. She really dominates the bottom half of this innings, and she's going to have to.
Well, it's not the first time she's been put in control of this sort of situation for her team. Clearly coming at this number 4 position, number 5 position, you generally do end up in these situations, 10, 12 overs in sometimes, required to steer the ship for the remainder of the innings, and she's been given the responsibility, as she has most of the summer, and no doubt she'll do a great job. And we'll have a Doddridge, I believe, will continue to bowl. I think it'll be a 3rd over in a row. And Carolyn Ward just shaping up there, getting ready. Getting set to get her innings underway. Bit of a ring field here. A lot of fielders outside the circle for Doddridge. Driven nicely offside. Forward point picked up. Now dot ball to get her innings underway. Just the one fielder back, I believe, at deep square on the leg side. Beautiful conditions out here at Karen Rolton Oval. Live in Adelaide, the city centre. Fantastic place for cricket. Work back in the crease and just defending out to the offside once more. And you're tuning in on Adelaide live stream, which is the team bringing you the entire T20 competition all summer. We trust you've been tuning in and catching all the action. Now the penultimate game in the women's comp. After 10 long rounds, we're finally here. Worked away off the toes nicely from Ward. She gets her first runs of the day. Score ticks over to 42.
I thought the penultimate game was the game before.
Is it? I have to look that up. I'm 2 on 1 here. I've got others saying it is. I must be wrong.
I don't know anyone who's saying it is.
I'll be in the wrong then.
Penultimately,
It's the pinnacle.
Tuckers has gone quiet. I imagine he's on Google.
Oh, I'm Googling. Oh, I'm prepared to be wrong. Not the first time I've been, boys. Yeah, second to last in the series. There you go. Very wrong by me. I'll stand corrected. Doddridge to continue here. Northern end of the ground. Driven hard. It's in the air a little bit. And it's well fielded nicely, and the batsmen just have to rush back into their crease to avoid the run out.
A couple of wickets have changed this game dramatically. I heard you say earlier, not many out. And you're right, in regards to fielders outside the ring. They've all come inside now, saving one. Every shot looks like not scoring.
Oh, wide one. Cut away, and it's gone through cover. It's beautifully played. It will be 4. Over the rope. And a good boundary, a much needed one. Haven't seen one for a little while now. A couple of overs. Wrong replay. All good. You will see it again shortly. So going through into the over, I think that's 10 down now. 4 for 46.
So the southern end. There's going to be Shea Daly to continue. And a good move from Sarah Lowe to bring her into the attack. Ward plays a sweep. Can't beat the fielder there at deep square. They got a chance at the non-strikers again if they can get that throw back. They couldn't do so.
Some real communication issues here between the batsmen. They just need to get out of that nervous state.
You saw the signal there from Karen Ward. Talk loud. This time she wants to work it behind square.
Does take a fair bit of time to get settled at the crease, and there is one thing about batting, and that is, you know, sometimes you need a scare like that to actually wake up and get those things going.
Again, the sweep.
What? Who what?
Who's it?
Who's what?
The fielder.
Oh, I don't know.
It's on air, boys.
Just a single there going into the leg side. Tried to sweep away. Daly just been called byes by the umpires. You can see Daly's just trying to get off the ground. Falling over during the action of bowling. Must be the spikes. And defended. That'll be the over once again for Daly. No, it won't.
That was the penultimate ball.
There was the penultimate ball. We're learning.
Four for 47. One to come. So McGrath. So she's working into her innings pretty well, just starting to relax. Ends the over. That run rate's still hovering around the 4.5. Want to get that back up to around about 5, even 6 if they can by over 15.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They're going to need some big overs, but I think it's still a couple of overs away for them. If we're honest, they've just been trying to work themselves in, defend a little bit, push around the singles, but even then, bowling's been very good from Kensington girls, Doddridge and Daly, doing most of the work the last 5 or so overs. Some wickets picked up, which doesn't help the flow, but they'll get into it. If they can just stay at the crease, these two, it's most important. The partnerships are key, and don't have a lot of time out there. This will be Doddridge's last over. She comes in from the northern end. Pretty full, and well defended once more. Carolyn Ward doing the batting there. Out in the centre with Kayla McGrath. My apologies. The two sisters out there. And 41 and 14 out there. Don't get them confused. Ward facing up just outside her crease. Back in the crease again, steps across and defends. So just trying to get settled, and might not seem like good T20 batting at this stage, but it is important for the latter stage. Just setting a foundation.
Yeah, 15 I think is the next over mark that they'd want to tick off.
Well, 4 down especially. Again, steps back in the crease, gets a thick edge out to third man. That'll be Cara Feebig out there with the no number today. See on the back of her top, at the top of your screen, no number on the back. I think Ali Falconer has a no number as well for West Torrens, so not often you see the old no number. There's a couple of them out there in this one.
There's plenty of time to organise the number. Maybe players don't want the number.
It must be a choice.
Go with the 00.
Why do you like 00?
If you don't have a number.
Oh, yeah, but it's still a number. Well, there's the argument of is 0 a number. Won't go into that. Full. Trying to drive square of the wicket. Stop there at point nicely for another dot ball. Doddridge been very economical. And that time it's well played. Out to a vacant long on. Might just plug in the grass there. It has slowed up as it's landed. And so they'll manage to get a couple. Just the 2 runs in the end for West Torrens. They'd love 2 more than that, but it was a good shot though from Kayla McGrath. Just no reward for the boundary.
Yeah, much like her sister, anything on that Midland leg stump line, I really enjoy playing it either aerial or along the carpet.
Final ball of the over. Pretty full once again. It's driven straight back down the ground, and the 2 fielders have been pushed back from mid on and off to be out at long on and long off. So they just pick up the single and end the 12th over at 4 for 51. West Torrens batting first, winning the toss here at Karen Rolton Oval in the Statewide Super T20 final. And the conditions are absolutely sensational for it. Sam Tugwell in the commentary box with Adrian Pickles next to me. We're live on Adelaide live stream social networks. We've got Facebook going at the moment, whether you're on that or YouTube as well. You can find us there. And we're also on Twitter at ADL live stream. So you can get on all of them. Share away if you've got friends who want to tune in. Or just share anyway for the sake of it, because we've got great cricket on display. And a great afternoon. Should be here for another couple of hours. We'll have a champion at the end of it. Kensington or West Torrens, who will it be? Daly to continue bowling. Just played out into the leg side. 1 run picked up for West Torrens.
So they're going to be happy just to accumulate through this next couple of overs. And if they do get one in their zone, we'll have a lash at it. But the field comes in now for Ward.
Swept, appealing. You didn't get the top view from that. But you got the side on, the attempted sweep. Did miss it. Umpire may have thought a little bit of bat in it. You can't quite see. We'll take another look from the angle you want to know about. Pitching and hitting impact-wise outside the off stump. Pickles has got his finger up, reckons it might have been out. We may have a look later again. Daly to continue. Defending. And another dot. What do you reckon? Finger was up.
Good enough, close enough.
Impact outside off stump.
Nevertheless,
that's generally how it works. Not out. Can't shrug your shoulders. We're on radio. You can't see. The sweep shot. She's bold enough to try it again. This time, gets the shot away. One more run out to backward square leg, who's on the boundary now. And the two fielders go back from mid-off and mid-on onto the rope. So Carla McGrath's clearly scared off those infielders.
Sarah Lowe fears the long hitting.
As she should. She's very good at it. That time back in the crease, half appeals around the ground. Take another look. Back in the crease. Unfortunately, we're behind, so we can't quite see where it did impact, but not out in the end. Even Daly didn't quite think so. Didn't even bother to appeal. Played nicely. Just the one run behind point. And the over complete once more, 13 down, and there's still 4 wickets out, which is good for West Torrens. Trying to consolidate these last 4 or 5 overs, and they're doing just that. Doddridge is out of overs, so we'll have a new bowler. And that might just be Jamison. Ex-Scorpion. Also a baseballer and footy player now, which is a good little array of sports to have under your belt. Playing 3 different kinds.
They lost the first wicket at 8. And when Talia McGrath went, the score was 2 for 24. Lost Ellie Falconer at 41. And Brooke Harris, who was involved in that run out with Ellie Falconer, went down the ground. She was caught as well. That also fell at 41. That was the last of the wickets. Now these two have got the score up to 54. Might not seem a hell of a lot in the context of a partnership. It's only 13. But they just released any pressure that was building in the shreds. Got them up to over number 13, only 7 to go, so they can afford to keep plugging along. And as we've been saying, get themselves to around about that 15 over mark. We're almost, the licence is a free licence, and go for broke. We can afford to lose a wicket and over and swing as hard as we can and hopefully have a couple of good ones. A couple of 8 or 10 run overs, but it's going to be Jamison, the left armour. Gets one past the outside edge of McGrath. Might have even taken the edge, few hands on heads.
Yeah, I reckon there might have been actually. A good movement off the bat there, so definitely an edge and a one put down. And you have no idea how critical that wicket would have been with McGrath getting set, and then to get out like that without making a huge contribution would have been massive for Kenzie's.
It's on a bit shorter from Jamison. Rocks back, pulls it to deep square. Just the one.
Well, I fear the worst for Kensington now that they've given her another life. She's got herself in. She's starting to seem pretty solid out there. That shot was pretty good. She will get going now, McGrath. Might be the chance that she needs just to really switch on now for good. There's been a couple little mishaps out there in the centre. Just they fix the field just a touch. Mid-wicket coming in off the rope.
We're going to square up the square leg, and Sarah Lowe, the skipper who's warming up, is going to go finer behind square. Jamison, full, dug out by Ward. So that field as it is now, you've got Smith square on the boundary, almost in line with the square leg umpire. Mid-wicket, long on, mid-off, cover, long cover, point and slip. Ward tries to get one between the point and it's the slip Phoebe, who's standing just inside the circle, so we'll call her a short third man. Can't do so, so it's been a good start here from Jamison. Just takes the leading edge. Rolls out towards Doddridge. One to come in the 14th. So we want to close it out. She does so by dropping the fielder out, Doddridge out to deep square to limit any boundary chances. This one's full. A scamper through for one. Good over. The 14th completed that run rate now, dropped below 4.
Yeah, that's a worry. That's probably the major concern now is the run rate and how they're tracking for the remainder of the innings. 6 overs at 4 and over is 24 extra runs to what they got now. Projected to 80, which is probably not enough, really. Having said that, West Torrens are very good at bowling pressure throughout the middle overs, so small totals, I mean, I say small, but 80 is, you know, probably the larger of the small scores out there. You generally get around 80 to 100, 110 on average. Teams do defend 80.
They're in remarkable batting form, the West Torrens side, coming around 8 and 9, making scores 164 and 166, so they've put some runs on the board in recent times, and to have them at 56 in just the 14th over. Another change in the bowling. It's going to be low, the skipper. That one's wide down leg side, called wide.
We'll compare these two teams. I'll compare these two from the 2 games they've played, and that was round 3 and 4. They're 1 and 1 against each other, so it's evenly matched, which is good going in. But the 3rd round when they first faced them, Kenzie's took 9 wickets. 9 of the West Torrens wickets and kept them to 79 and ran over them their 11th over. So they do know how to bat and chase down small scores.
That one full, no run, it squirts out to point.
The next game, West Torrens put on 6 for 114 and managed to defend it pretty well. In fact, sorry, Kensington put on 6 for 114 and it was chased down by West Torrens.
So I didn't want to correct you on there.
No, that's all right. There was 3 balls to go in that game too, so a pretty tight one, but good contest between these two both times.
Just tucked behind square no fine leg, so we'll get through for 1. Yeah, looking at these two sides throughout the season, but 114 that they lost, Kensington against West Torrens in round 3, just about that's their top score in this competition. So I think as it stands, as I said at the moment, they'll be pretty happy with where they're at the moment. Wouldn't want this to get away from them, and a player at the crease with the range of Kayla McGrath could certainly turn this, we'll call it 60 at the moment, into a 100, 105. She swings long and hard. Did everything but take the ball. Went through to Church. Head back in English as well, McGrath. Maybe she thinks she let one slip there that should have been capitalised upon.
No time played on the leg side, in the air, but there's no one inside the infield. Just bouncing out the fielder on the boundary. Just the single. 2 balls to come. The field is still relatively spread here for Ward. Hasn't played any massive shots just yet. She's been quite conservative, but it's about time to bring out the big shots if she's got them. It's a top edge. It's going to go behind the keeper, so she gets away with it. Probably won't be a boundary. And no communication there either between the two fielders. But they managed to get back another 2 runs. And Ward continues to face the bowling here of Lowe. Just the 28 runs from 3 innings prior to this final here for Ward, so hasn't had a lot of time at the crease in these T20s. She's doing the job. Another one nicely patted down as 3rd man. She'll get 1 more out of that. And that'll be over. 15 down, 4 down, West Torrens, which is a good sign for them. They can start to play a little more freely, and their own rate slowly creeping up ever so slightly, and Captain Jess Joseph runs out there, gives them a quick drink and a little word of advice here, because it's a really important moment in this game, which will set them up for the rest of it.
We're changing the field here. Doddridge, who was on the boundary. Jamieson wanted to bring her in. She's now been pushed back to exactly where she was. Maybe just pushed around a bit straighter. Ward waits. Can't beat mid-off. Bowled a good one last up, did Sarah Jamieson. Half a shout for LB. I don't think they were ever really convinced that was going to be given.
Yeah, I think it's pitched outside leg, and it looked bad with the batsman playing across the line, Carolyn Ward, but there was even a half shout as they tried to stump her at the other end as well. A little bit of a unaware run out. She's a few steps out of her crease, and I think they just had a quick throw. Good awareness.
This time she tries to get one past Feebig. She did well to get a hand on it, kept it a 1. If it got through, that was probably going to run all the way.
One thing about Sarah Jamieson is her economy rate. She's #1 in the competition this season for runs per over. Well, the least runs per over, I suppose. 3.07 in T20 cricket is remarkable.
This time she's full. McGrath just does enough to get underneath it and get it over the infield out to the 2 fielders out there long on and deep square just for 1. She continues Jamieson. Ward pushes, short cover. Finding it hard to rotate the strike. Earlier in this over you saw Carla McGrath go down and have a chat to her, and I wouldn't mind thinking that was a fair bit of that conversation. This time full bunger from Jamieson. Pushed out to deep point on the rope.
Well, I think she's on 9 off about 26 balls now, Carolyn Ward. We'll get the updated scorecard now. It's the end of the over. But it has been rather slow, and now's the time to really get hitting, and I feel there's going to be a little bit of an expectation on McGrath to take a fair bit of the strike, because I'm a little worried Ward hasn't quite got it in her to go really, really big and really, really fast, you know, naturally, because we've seen quite a defensive approach today from her. Hasn't scored a lot of runs this season, just the 28 runs from 3 innings. So we'll soon see whether she can really light it up, but she's got strike here against Lowe. whether or not she can get some fast runs now and get this team, or the scorecard, ticking.
She's got 24 balls to get going.
So it doesn't take 24 balls.
First one she faces is drop down to point.
Mind you, 1 ball's not a bad result if she can do that too.
Well, that's all she really needs to do in this partnership. She's in and set. If she can stay in and have Carla McGrath launch a couple either to the rope or over it, just keep rotating it, then that's job done for her. Having new players come to the crease and try to tee off is pretty tough. This time she does have a swing at it, does McGrath. It's a fine edge. We've got a third man back there, so there's only going to be one. She hurries back for 2. It's good running. Well, it was good running up until she was almost run out.
Yeah, you got to take the risks, though, at this time of the game. That's why you keep wickets in hand. That's why you do that hard work in the middle stages, so you can afford to take those risks later and get those quick runs. And it's very well done in the end from McGrath to get back and finish the job. And now she holds strike.
This time she does try to launch again. Just chunks it out to the fielder out there at deep square. I don't think she intended it to go that way, but that twisted in her hand and just miscued it off to the leg side.
What gets me is they've still got all the fielders back on the rope here for Karen Ward. I would have thought you'd put them all in the circle and pressure her and stop the single.
Digs out a fuller one. Can't beat Doddridge at short cover.
One of the few that are inside the circle. She's straight to him. Plenty of gaps around. A lot on the leg side. 2 fielders out. Deep mid-wicket and deep square leg, but then also deep cover out there too. So she's got a lot of space through the offside if she wants to as well, to just dob and run.
That one's short. She tries to beat point. Can't do so.
She's picked out the 2 fielders inside the circle both times, so she's looking for singles but can't get them. And that's why I think you bring that cover fielder in as well. When you really crowd the bat, she'll be really struggling to get off strike. But nonetheless, she's still there. Got the old Puma from the 1990s. It's a classic.
Full again. She does whip this off her toes. There's only going to be 1, but it's going to end the over, so she's going to maintain the strike. Another good over for the Kensington side. No boundaries from it. Run rate just over 4. 3 overs to go in this one. They've got 70. They'll be definitely now saying 100 is the absolute pass mark. And in one of these overs, no doubt it'll just be almost a shut your eyes and swing type scenario. They've got enough wickets in the shed that they can afford to do so. Ward just works it to the leg side. That's what Tugs has been on about.
Well, that's all she needs to do is the 1-ball sort of scenario. Keep McGrath facing, because we know she can hit the boundaries. She just needs to be smart about it and not play a silly shot that probably isn't there. Just as long as she's placing it, finding the right gaps. There's a number of them around.
So another one out now. Now there's deep long on, long off, square.
So pretty much anything down the ground into the leg side should be safe as long as it's not in the air.
That one is picked up on a half volley by Doddridge. A good bit of work. Just another one to the total from McGrath.
Yeah, that's risky, but it was there. You can see she tried to get across the crease so she can hit into that leg side, which is very open. It's wide open, just 2 players back on the rope, as Pickles was mentioning. And only 1 fielding change when Ward comes on strike, and that's long on, comes in to mid-on. So all that leg side is open. They'll have to bowl on the offside here, Jamieson. Doesn't, and just gets a single off strike. That's not bowling to your field at all. They've just got her line wrong.
With the field so spread, regardless of the line or the length, both of these batters are going to be able to drop and run. It's McGrath who's looking to go over the rope. This one, she rocks back and swings through it. Doddridge getting around, just put that one down. They got one. Ward wants a second one. He's going to get back at the bowler's end. Jamison throws to the strikers, but they're home safely for 2 more.
Gee, action aplenty. Spilled the catch at first. Just needs to not put it in the air so much, McGrath. We missed the drop catch there. It's just behind as it's fielded and thrown into the bowler's end, but it was the wrong end because McGrath was sprinting to the strikers. He wasn't aware that the call was made for the extra run.
That one fuller, wider. Got away with it though to Jamison. That's a rare one. It's late in the innings.
It was actually in the corridor. She just stepped that far away from it. Live, it looked west side on. It looked like it may have been too wide to hit, but it was perfectly bowled, really. Good line and length from Jamison. Just stepped too far away from it, McGrath. She probably just needs to stay conventional.
This time she rocks back, tries to pull one, but it's gone straight through her. Cannon into the middle stump. And the big hitting Kayla McGrath is gone. And Jamison, who's bowled good tight lines, has now also picked up the crucial wicket. We'll see her here. Rock back again. She wants to hit that one through the leg side. Just snuck under the bat.
Maybe a little bit of bottom edge as well, but that's really disappointing for her. She worked so hard to get into that innings and really hit away, but just didn't quite get that hitting away bit quite right. Just moving around the crease, trying to be a bit too clever and shake the bowling of Jamison so she can put it somewhere she doesn't want to, and in the end, some chances went in the air, drop catches. It didn't quite look like she'd had it all under control, but unfortunately, the innings comes to an end and Caitlin Edmonds will come to the crease for the final 2 overs of play. 5 for 75, and West Torrens probably need another 10 to 15 runs to really feel comfortable going out there with the ball. But nonetheless, it's set up nicely, and we'll have a bowling change as well. Looks like their opener will come back on from the southern end.
It'll be Pope. So it's Ward who's going to be on strike. She's been out there for a while, as we've said. Her role now changes from rotate the strike into the dominator of this innings with this partnership, and she'll her side will be looking at her to start to go through this infield or over it when she can. A few changes still being made. Third man just coming around a little bit straighter, or squarer rather. Pope just outside. I thought she got a fair bit of bat on that.
Fairly big appeal there as well from Caitlin Pope. Watch this. Almost down on one knee. She really wanted it. It's coming from the right side of the wicket to demand the wicket as well. You can see the looks from afar, almost very identical to Lloyd, but they're not related.
Again, the left armer comes around the wicket. Ward pushes it to cover.
Except she's much better looking than Lloyd, let's just put it that way as well.
Feel free to keep going down that line if you like.
There's nothing wrong with what Lloyd looks like. I'm just saying girls are prettier than boys. In my opinion anyway, you can have a different view.
You're on your own.
Are you in a corner? Do you like being in the corner?
You're on your own.
I'll just keep shuffling you in there. It's a bit of fun for me.
Edmonds winds up but can't get hold of it. Change of pace ball. Looked like she actually picked it though, waited. Wasn't through the shot too early. You can see her there just ripping her hands down, indicating that's the off spinner. She bowls the off spinner. That one's the quicker one, jammed down. Yorker length, squeezed away to mid-wicket. They get one.
What she does do is come very wide of the crease when she lands, and the angle's created, which is really quite a unique little asset to her bowling. And as it comes straight into the batsman, it's a bit hard to hit into the offside as well, so very limited for shot selection.
Ward gets back deep in her crease.
You can see they're basically forced to play into the leg side every time. as she bowls that straight off stump line with the angle coming in. One ball to go. Edmonds facing up here. What's she got to do? Big fully, misses the lot. Bit of a slower one. Didn't quite get the flight as we watch it. Yep, flick the fingers. And we end the over. Score at 78. 5 wickets down, 1 over to go. Here at Karen Rolton Oval, live on Adelaide live streams coverage. We're in the city and we're enjoying some lovely weather. It's going to get up to a top of 31. So I think the Eagles will end up having to really endure the really hot weather of the day as we move into the afternoon. It's 11:45 local time. If you're watching from interstate or overseas, Jamieson will bowl the last over. She's been impressive so far for the Browns. It's played nicely behind point. Didn't get all of it, but it may roll away if it's quick enough. Patterson chases well, just inside the rope, saves it, and they're looking for 3. Edmonds might be run out. Umpire says no. So 3 runs going to West Torrens, important stages of the game. Taking another look, she just grounds the bat well, slides in, and safe.
Important start to the last over, 3 runs. Put a bit of pressure back on the bowler. The imaginary target now would be 90. And 3 off the first ball makes that even more achievable. Another couple of runs here puts the pressure right on the bowler.
Full, thick edge going at the point, drops about 1 metre short, and they managed to scramble a single. Well, they need to keep that strike rotating, but at the same time, they also need Ward to score some runs if she is going to get on strike. She's up facing now to Jamieson. She comes down the wicket, hits her pad. It'll be leg byes for 1 more into the offside. And Edmonds back on strike, 3 balls to go.
So Edmonds 1, faced just the 3 balls. And Ward 15 off the 37 that she's faced.
Steps across her crease. She's hit it well into the air. Mid-wicket comes under and it's well taken. It's a good catch in the end. That's Eliza Doddridge under it. Safe hands. And Edmonds has to go. Full toss. About knee height. Connected well with it to an extent, but just didn't direct it very well either. And the 6th wicket falls now for the Eagles. 6 for 83. And the jockey will come out for the final 2 balls. She probably won't face, but she'll be out there nonetheless with Carolyn Ward.
The little pocket dynamo. Impressed us the first time that we saw her.
She's hit 26 runs from 5 innings this summer in the T20 format. Having a quick word with Ward, she'll say, quick singles. 2 balls to come.
Sarah Jamison's figures start to look impressive now.
Oh, they're very, very good. Have been all summer. She plays across her body. It'll go behind square leg where no fielder is. Well placed and 4 runs. And she'll get to face the final ball as well. A very timely boundary.
Absolutely Mosdirt.
We'll take a look at this. 2 balls in a row, very similar place, just full tosses around that thigh region. 1 took a wicket, 1 went for 4. It's a bit hard to pull that apart. But that's cricket. Final ball. And it's just driven out to a 3rd man area. And Feebig looks after it. Just the 1 run. We finish it up. Score at 88 off the 20 overs. They managed to do well to hold on to most of their wickets after they were 4 down within the first 8 overs of the game. They've managed to go 6 down for 88 to finish off the first innings. So the target will be 89 for Kensington. in the statewide Super 2020 final at Karen Rolton Oval. Pickles, a good innings from the girls nonetheless at West Torrens to probably at the back end of the innings, but probably didn't get the score they would have loved.
Yeah, they had the chance for that to go either way. When they were losing wickets, that really could have just dived and been out for a paltry 65-70 type score. But they hung tough and batted their way up to something they're going to be able to bowl to. 89, call it 90, the winning score in the final. Runs on the board. We'll be with you for the second innings. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, this Kensington side is going to be looking at chasing down 88 runs to win the statewide Super Premier T20 competition for 2019.
This broadcast is brought to you by West End, Statewide Super, the South Australian Cricket Association, and Adelaide Livestream. Welcome back to Karen Rolton Oval for the Statewide Super T20 final between Kensington and West Torrens. West Torrens put a score on the board of 89, so Kensington will require 90 to get the victory and become T20 champions. Patterson opening the batting for Kensington. Paul Bonza with you, and Sam Tugwell's just jumped in next to me. Tuggers, welcome.
G'day, mate, and a fantastic afternoon to be joining you for some cricket. The final just about to get underway with West Torrens bowling now, defending 89. The first ball swung and just sort of come off the body. So Bridget Patterson will be facing right now. Played into the leg side. That's well played. We'll get a couple of runs here. It may just get cut off, and just about is. But unfortunately, it's 4. So first boundary for the Browns, and a good start for them in a chase of 89. The target as we get everything sorted on our end. We're just trying to get all the cameras set up from both angles. Straight away, none for 4 off the first 2 balls. Left alone. Played well out through cover. It's going to be another 4 runs. So none for 8 very quickly for Kenzie's 4 balls in. An immediate impact. Here in the second innings, just the first over. And through to the keeper. So 1 ball to come. Required run rate, obviously, as you can see on your screen, of just over 4. And depending on how quickly they want to try and chase this down, they go up or down. But right now, their intent is clear. And going after these first few overs while the field is in, try and get as many on the board as possible. Charlie McGrath with their final ball. Played away into the leg side toward fine leg. And it's stopped by the fielder. And 2 runs, so 11 off the first. Well, just about. There's 1 more ball to come. Getting ahead of myself. Played up in the air. It's out into the leg side. There's fielders racing towards it. A half dive. It was about a metre from her hand in the end. Ellie Faulkner had a good crack at it. And she misses out. So another 2 runs in the first over. And Kensington right on top early days. Patterson making her intentions known. None for 13 off the first. So just about to get the second over underway. First ball bowled, and the bowler is Brooke Harris, and she's coming in under a little bit of an injury cloud from what we're aware of. She was a little bit hesitant about bowling today, but going out and batting earlier, maybe feeling a little bit better. We'll see how she goes. So welcome Paul Bonser back into the commentary box, just fixing some small little technical things that we've got going, but we've finally got our camera going on the scissor lift, which is great.
Just a few gremlins. We're right now, though.
That happens sometimes in broadcasting. Played into the leg side. Faulkner has a shot at the non-strikers and misses. So the score continues to tick over, none for 14 off the first 8 balls of the day.
Very positive start. Very positive start for the Browns, chasing what would say a modest total.
Well, it probably wasn't the score West Torrens were after, but they are, if any team is capable of defending a small score, it is the Eagles, no doubt about that. They've done it many times before, and Jess Joseph and Laura Najolki and a number of those bowlers in the middle, Brooke Harris here bowling now, they're all such an integral part of putting that pressure on. Just played out for a dot ball, and generally it doesn't happen in the first 6 overs. Generally happens in the middle stages after that when they get the fielders out. They do a very good job of just applying a lot of pressure and stemming the run flow. But unfortunately, you have to get through those first 6 overs, and Kensington are dealing with that pretty well. Cut behind point, it's misfielded, and there'll be 2 more runs here. Patterson having a great start. Another few more runs to her. She's got majority of the total so far. Liza Doddridge at the other end's only probably seen a couple of balls and only has a couple of runs to her name. high in the air, playing a wide shot over cover. It bounces a few metres in and rolls over the rope. So another boundary. Patterson is lighting it up in the power play.
A great shot from Bridget Patterson. Got some width. Really a half volley outside off. Threw her hand through the ball and raced away over the top. No chance of getting caught that one. And rolled into the boundary. On a bit of a flyer, Kensington.
Well, the run rate wasn't very high to start with, and they're making sure it's already smaller than it was. Oh, she's taken the inside edge, and it's only just missed the top of the stumps. If it took her pad or something on the way through and jumped over them, Brooke Harris is a bit disappointed it didn't take the bails off, but nonetheless, we're down 2 overs, and it's already none for 20 and 69 runs to get from this point on.
Got the QN there. Queued it up. So great start for Kensington. 10 and over after 2. So I think it's fair to say, Tuggers, West Torrens, like to see the end of Bridget Patterson. They need some wickets here.
It'll be Ellie Faulkner who'll come in to replace. Oh, I can't remember who was just bowling before. McGrath. Small mind blank. Faulkner's been so good. Number 2 in the wickets for the T20 summer in the women's comp. And that's not a great start. She's put in a short one and pulled away straight away. Fielder out there just to stop it for a single. But she's taken 11 wickets, and that's a good little haul over 10 games. She's one of the best in the strikers squad this summer. Serious bowling talent. Going to need her leadership out there today. Some of the fielding, Harris and Joseph just having some words and sorting out what they want to do with their fielders. Third man will come in to the circle. Risky play that. Generally like to keep them out.
Not a lot of runs to play with, Tuggers. They need to keep pressure on the batters here, and bringing the field in's one way to do it. Just the 2 out.
Played away into the leg side. It's dived at and fielded. Patterson wants another run. She's very keen to get on the front foot today and get these runs as quickly as possible. Stop there from Harris. She's a little bit annoyed at herself she didn't catch it. So some more fielding changes, and they're just trying to work out how to stem this run flow. Third man will go back, which is probably the more conservative option. You don't want to leak boundaries at this stage. So if you can have some people out and bowl to your field, and she clearly wants to bowl outside off stump, deep mid wickets come in. You can see some pointing of fingers from Talia McGrath. Arranging some of the field there on the leg side. Ward's going to go into square leg.
I was just going to say it was good to see a slip in, but they've taken Paris Hall out of slip.
Third man's gone back onto the rope, so that gap between keeper and gully there, as you can see on your right.
In fact, it was Trelaw.
But that's what Faulkner's going to do. She's going to bowl to her field, and she's very, very good at what she does. So to make sure she's got everything right, she's taken her time, they're not rushing. It's good cricket from these girls, and good captaincy from Jess Joseph as well. Saying, look, don't panic. Let's just halt the game for a little bit and make sure we get this right, because you only get one crack at it. Wider delivery. Left alone in the end. Patterson knows she doesn't have to play at them. Already a quarter of the way there, essentially, Kenzie's, and we've hardly made a dent in the amount of overs to go.
Pace there from Falconer too. He smacked into the keeper's gloves.
That time she does play it, and it goes over cover by just an inch. Misses out, jumping at the catch, and it ends up rolling for 4.
Very strong through the offside as Bridget Patterson. Anything wide, she's going to jump all over the top of. And again, brings her second boundary through cover. Similar shot in the last over.
Well, she's certainly got all areas of the ground covered now. Playing into the leg side, down the ground, offside. She's waiting for the ramp. She's played to all areas so far. Well played, solid defence down the pitch. And that ends the third over. None for 25, a run rate which is skyrocketing right now compared to their required per over runs. Just 3.5 needed for the rest of the innings. I reckon they'll want to do that even quicker than that. A nice look at the scoreboard here at Karen Rolton Oval. Patterson already on 22.
Our camera crew doing some great work here. Adelaide live stream.
They certainly do a very good job, don't they?
Yeah, and Ross on the balcony here. No, and there's Kat behind the pole. They're up in the scissor lift at the northern end.
Oh, she's hiding.
She's hiding behind that pole. Not the best shot of her, but thanks to Access High for the sort of scissor lift as well. And it's going to be Brooke Harris to continue. It's an edge and through slips. It's going to run away towards the boundary. Don't know if it's got the legs to get there. And I'll come back for a third. So found the edge and went straight through. Wasn't a catch, Tuggers, but went along the ground.
Well,
and beat Angela Trelaw.
Any little chances are good chances and might not have been taken, or there may not have been Carolyn Ward close enough to where she needed to be, but nonetheless it's good opportunities and puts a little bit of doubt in the batsman's mind, which is all you need to do.
This one defended, well bowled.
Patterson obviously one of the strikers and Scorchers squad members and has done very well this season. And now out there with the Browns, leading the way with the bat. Kangaroo Island, same club as Rachel Church, who's the keeper for Kensington.
Slower ball and driven over the top. Great shot from Bridget Patterson going all the way. I don't know if it cleared the rope, has it?
They've called it foot, well, at least
it's 4 runs.
Running toward it. Paris Hall wants to call it 4.
We might have to get that on the replay there, Tuggers.
We'll have another look.
But again, she's so strong if the ball's up. Driving over cover, driving down the ground. Quality player is Bridget Patterson. And again, good comeback from Brooke Harris. Well bowled. So Kensington moving along, no wicket for 32. Into the 4th over here, Karen Rolton Oval. This is the Statewide Super T20 competition. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Adelaide live stream. This one, slower ball, work behind point. Another good shot. It's racing away to the boundary. This is going to be 4. Great shot.
That went lightning speed, didn't it? Almost like it was running down a hill. It sped off. Great outfield out here at Karen Rolton, but I suppose we haven't seen a lot of balls go along the ground the whole way. Most of them have gone in the air and sort of plugged because they've come from in the air, but when you hit along the ground, it looks like you can get a lot of reward. Great boundary.
Into the 30s now. Bridget Patterson. This time driven again. It's in the air, but it's going to be safe. Over the top of the infield. It's racing away to the boundary this time. Oh! Good effort. A really good effort there to save the boundary.
Gee, almost ended
Tegan
up being
Fry,
a
I think it
boundary.
was. Just slipped at the last minute. And that ends the over from Brooke Harris.
Gee, just a unfortunate, almost a major error. Because the slip almost would have landed in connection with the ball and the rope at the same time, even though there was still probably a metre to go.
So she picked up 2 for that. And you can see some of the crowd here at beautiful Karen Rolton Oval.
We're just behind that glass.
So Bridget Patterson, she's now moved on to 32 out of 38. It's fair to say West Torrens need to see the back of her.
She's just signalled for a drink, clearly getting a little tired out there already after 4 overs. It is nice and warm, top of 31 degrees here in Adelaide today. And in the concrete jungle that is our city, it will get very hot out there.
What about this facility though, Tuggers? We've been here a couple of times now to do a few games, and Trent Kelly and his team do a magnificent job. And congratulations to everyone involved. This precinct, this cricket precinct is outstanding.
The picket fence, the white picket fence, it's glowing. It's absolutely beautiful out here, and
Plenty of shade for spectators.
no question, it is one of the best little boutique grounds going around in the country right now.
Ellie Falconer is going to continue. West Torrens need a wicket.
Yeah, no question, and we know who that wicket is. It's Bridget Patterson. She's at the other end right now. So, for the time being, Falconer would like to bowl to Doddridge instead.
Doddridge hasn't seen much of the strike either. She's just on 5. Falconer. That one's on the leg. Half a shout, but they're sliding down and probably a little high.
Doddridge doesn't have to really do a whole lot. And I think the fact that they've set this innings up nicely with 50 runs to go and 16 overs in the bank, pretty much just need to play your own game. If Patterson wants to keep going, she can, but it's a pretty cruisy sail.
Shorter ball outside off stump. Dot ball.
It's almost reminiscent of round 3 we were mentioning earlier in the coverage. One of the 2 times these two met this season, and the one time Kensington got the win, they chased down 79 in 11 overs. That was their target in that game. They've got 89 today.
Another short ball pulled through mid-wicket. There's some coverage out there. So just the single. There's a dangerous Bridget Patterson on to strike.
I feel like off speed is what they might need to do from here. Falconer's doing the job a little bit here, which is good. But from the other end, Harris got lit up a little bit, and it's almost time he just goes, stuff it, let's put in our slow bowlers, because they usually do that in the middle overs. And that's when they start to suffocate teams and put them under pressure, run-wise.
So change in the field here. Mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket comes up inside the circle. And they push fine leg, but back. This one, full, driven, great shot, 4 more. Bridget Patterson putting on a clinic.
It's brilliantly done. This is professional work, you must say. She's just playing really good cricket shots. She's getting them out of the middle every time. She's backing herself, and clearly the boundaries are flowing for a good reason. She's doing all the right things. She looks very settled. Since the first ball, really, didn't take her long to get into it. And she's let that momentum just continue and hasn't stopped.
Full again, this time driven off the inside edge. Didn't quite get all of that one. And very well fielded by Carolyn Ward. Mid-on. Put in the dive. Probably saved, I don't know if she saved 4, but at least saved a couple there.
It's probably one of her first mishits too, Bridget.
None for 43, the Browns. Well, ball, that's better length. And Patterson can only defend this one. That ends the over. So after 5, Kensington no wicket for 43. You can see there on the scoreboard here at Karen Rolton Oval, Bridget Patterson taking over this innings. She's 36 not out. Doddridge at the other end is 6. And I think we're going to see a change in the bowler.
Might be Emily Hines. In fact, it will be.
Emily Hines. Hinsey. Just Emily Hinsey, we're just being corrected.
See, Falconers have been really good so far. 2 overs for 10 runs. It's not a football score. 2 goals, 10.
Yeah, that's a little bugbear of mine. Why we're playing cricket? Why has it still got goals behind total on the
You almost
scoreboard?
need that. Adelaide Oval do it well. They've got the little signage that goes over the top of
Just
the bits that don't matter during cricket and footy season. They just sort of cover it up.
so we'll get that sorted within a week or so for you.
You
As long as I'm here.
throw your weight around here.
Yep, I'm going to get the word out. Has to be changed.
Start a petition.
So you can see there, Kensington need just 46 runs from the 90 balls remaining. So run rate required, not the issue. West Torrens need wickets and they need them in a hurry. And they need them in a bunch too, Tuggers.
Hinsey coming on for her first over in southern end. That time it's mishit down the ground. It's going to go to mid-on. It was in the air. Then fielded for a dot to get this 6th over underway. And you're right. The wickets need to come in bunch right now. And Patterson's number 1. She needs to go if West Torrens are anything or have any interest in winning this game. Pull shot up in the air, out at fine leg. It's put down. Najolki, I believe it is, out there, has put down a really, really important catch that should have been taken. And they continue to just cruise on. 47 for no loss. And that's Doddridge's first boundary. We're just speaking about how important the wickets were. Doesn't matter who it was. They need to come.
Tough chance. But in the end, she made good ground, got there, couldn't grab onto it.
Yeah, she was sitting right under it, just sort of moved back and forth a little bit to get herself in position, but yeah, eventually just spilled a pretty simple take, really. Too much time to think about it always doesn't help either. That time cut away behind point. Third man is going to be quick enough to get there, is she? No, she is. Well done. Fielded out by Caitlin Edmonds. Doing the work out there at third man. Another 2 runs. Two balls to come. That one's moved off the deck a little bit, just short of a length. Thick edge out toward third man once more. And the score already gets to 50. And we're only 35 balls in.
Really well played. Really well played by Doddridge to just guide that down to third for a single, rotate the strike, bring Patterson back on strike.
Last ball, the power play as well, so fielders outside the ring after this delivery. Oh, it's come straight back in. Well delivered by Hinsey. The ball before came off the deck a little bit, went away. This one came back in and it was fuller, so much more dangerous. And cut Patterson in half. That's the power play done and dusted. 6 overs, none for 50. And there's still just 39 runs to get.
What an absolute cracking delivery. You see it here on the replay. Oh, that's done heaps off the track.
That's a pearler,
cut
isn't it?
back. Took the hip of Bridget Patterson. Lucky it didn't go on.
We'll take another look, and if we looked at it slower, my first thought was there was a thick edge onto her body and then through to the keeper, but clearly it's come in that much. That's fantastic. Nonetheless, a bowling change.
The skipper's bringing herself on. Jess Joseph. JJ to her friends. So we better call her Jess. And we've seen her before, Tuggers, and what she just bowls line and length, and you'll see that last ball of that last delivery once again. Did a fair bit off the track. This one half volley, driven through cover. Should pick up 2 here. One on the arm. Nijelki out there.
My opinion, and I mentioned this just a little while ago, is that she probably should have come on earlier. The pace onto the ball, onto the bat, sorry, in that power play with the fielders in was probably working to Kensington's advantage. Would have loved to have seen Joseph come in. You can already see the effects that she's had.
That one cut behind point, Putton beats the fielder. This is going to run away to the boundary for 4. So good shot from Doddridge. Starting to get into the action herself now.
Just using the good outfield out there, just starts to race away. Didn't really put a lot of work into that either, just sort of guided it. Let the ball race away. Just enough speed to get to the rope. But I feel like Joseph's the sort of bowler that will get Bridget Patterson at the other end out, who's trying to hit really hard. And if she can get her to mistime it, it might help, but Doddridge doing some very nice things out there.
This one's full and driven. Straight to the fielder. Lindsay did well. Got her body behind it. Can the skipper pick up a wicket here? That one driven to point. Oh, a bit of a misfield. They will pick up a single. Good running. Taking every opportunity are the Browns. Good bowling, but work down on the ground for just a single to Patterson. And that ends the over from Joseph. Kensington move on their way. They're no wicket for 58. Off just 7 overs. See the 2 at the crease there, Doddridge and Patterson. Probably talking about how well they're going. And the beautiful facilities here at Karen Rolton Oval.
Yep, lovely day for cricket. The crowd's turning out. And Hinsey will continue from the southern end. First over did some great things with the ball, moving around off the deck. Just bowling to Patterson. She comes in with a big stride forward, front foot, leaves alone. Her intentions have been pretty clear since the get-go. Wants to hit hard, wants to get the runs, put West Torrens right under pressure, and it certainly worked. Sometimes it doesn't quite pay off, but been batting very professionally out there. Fielder's back on the rope for her. We'll run through them in a moment. Angles in down leg side, might be called a wide, and is.
Well, the umpire thought about it a long time. I'm not sure why.
It's pretty clear, isn't it?
So talking about that field, Tuggers, the field is spread now. There's a third. There's a sort of a squarish fine leg, or backward square, just bringing up the deep mid wicket into the circle now. It's a long on, long off, deep cover.
Push back in her crease, chance of a run out the striker's end. It's a direct hit. Umpire probably won't give that though. Doddridge makes her ground nicely. Good backing up and made it through comfortably.
A bit of fielding from Talia McGrath. Just pounced on it. One stump to aim at. Hit him, but couldn't. The ball couldn't beat Doddridge, who made her ground. Good running.
It certainly was great fielding out there in the end.
Doddridge has got the willow bat, made especially for females. See the girls using that bat.
It's played through out toward third man. You have to run me through the willow bat. What's the specialties?
It's a new company that's in the, I guess the growth in women's cricket. There's a couple of entrepreneurs have decided, well, there should be a bat designed just for women, not the tree trunks the men use, and obviously in Adelaide, South Australia.
Very nicely done. Straight back to the bowler, and it's well fielded.
So that free plug again is Willow cricket bats.
If they're willing to jump on and sponsor us, that's fantastic. But no, certainly great to see that there's some initiatives like that happening out there and really growing the game. You know, all the nitty-gritty things, such as a bat, that definitely deserve, as that's one's played out to point and well stopped, a diving stop there from Caroline Ward, and keeps it to a dot. High fives out in the field for that fielding effort. Great work from her. Stuck it out with the bat earlier today. Took her time, probably went to a strike rate of 50 and spent about 38 balls at the crease, but was integral to the side sticking out there and keeping wickets in hand. Cut this time well past Ward. She wasn't stopping that one no matter how far she dived, and that's 4. Well, they're creeping so close now. They can smell it.
Glorious shot from Bridget Patterson. Just a little bit of width on offer. Shorter ball behind point. And she moves into the 40s.
It's creeping so close now, and Doddridge is contributing. It's a train that can't be stopped. It's almost a matter of time now for West Torrens. There's going to be some serious changes made to get them anywhere near wanting to win now. And one of those changes will be the bowling. Talia McGrath will come on from the northern end.
Yeah, a bit too close.
So we're going to get some fielding changes at the meantime. Mid wicket out on the rope. Cover out on the rope. And cover's being brought in as we speak there from McGrath. She's just doing some signalling and sorting out what she wants. But right now, long on the rope. Harris is out there at deep mid-wicket. We've got a deep square with Jess Joseph, and we've got a third man as well in the distance. 4 on the rope for West Torrens as Talia McGrath comes in. And a fine leg single may have been off the pads. Will be called leg byes.
So it's going to take something very special from this West Torrens team to get back into this game. Talia McGrath, she's a wicket taker. Need 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 in a hurry to get the Eagles back into this contest.
She's just played 3 games for the Eagles this year in the T20 comp and 2 wickets to her name, so she'd love a couple here today. Really lead this side. They've got a great list and they've played so well all summer. They finished top with 7 wins and 3 losses. They were the dominant side in the comp And now they're under all this pressure. It's time to take it easy and really walk through the process and get it right. Leg side, another wide. And gee, the frustration on her face tells a story. 22 runs to win now for Kensington.
That required rate now under 2 and over. And it's not going to come down to that. It's going to just take something special and a pile of wickets for West Torrens.
Patterson trying to get creative.
Well, you said before earlier, Tuggers, that you hadn't seen the ramp from her yet,
Well,
and there it is.
There it was. She tried it. She gave it a go. That's all I can ask.
I think she's hitting the ball so well, driving down the ground. There's no need for the ramp. Put that away, Bridget.
That one's a thick edge. It's ended up at point. Another dot ball. And dot balls are good because they build pressure, and pressure builds wickets, and the wickets is all they want. The only way they're probably going to get across the line is just taking wickets and hoping the batsmen that come in start throwing them away, but a very small window now. West Torrens. That's very wide. Not sure what the plan was on that. If she had that one flicking out for a slower ball or something, didn't quite execute. And another wide. We'll have another look. Now we'll just see the release from the hand. If she does, it comes out the back of the hand. It's an attempted slower ball. Sometimes that happens.
Actually was a slow ball, wasn't attempted. Just
not
straight.
Not executed beautifully. No, you're right. And a stock ball that's played, or attempted to play through point and missed and through to the keeper. 2 balls to come in the 9th. Keeper there, Kayla McGrath. Keeping to Taylor. Talia. 2 to come. She's come across her stumps there and was standing on off stumps, so she's managed to pin that one into the backward point region. And 2 more runs to Patterson. She knows she doesn't have to do too much now. And they're just creeping ever so slowly towards the score. They're now on 70 for no loss. We haven't even gone halfway through the second innings. Last ball here for McGrath. Across her stumps again, this time tries to play down the ground. And another dot ball to finish. None for 70 off 9.
Well, Kensington in complete control here at Karen Rolton Oval. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Brought to you by Adelaide Live Stream. This is the Statewide Super T20 Grand Final. And Kensington in complete control at no wicket for 70. Bridget Patterson on 44. And looks like Paris Hall is coming into the attack.
Yeah, see what she's got to do now. They have to make the changes. Surprised Jess Joseph's ended up taking herself off and hasn't bowled since the 7th over. Just going with different bowlers each over now.
Don't really have a good spinning option to West Torrens. It's all the medium paces. Hall this time starts off with a wide down leg side.
There's not a lot of room for that. In fact, it's Tegan Fry. My apologies.
Let me up the garden path, mate.
I have.
It's well bowled. No run there. Tegan Fry. Can she be the one to break through this Kensington batting lineup and get a wicket? Again, good bowling, good running as well by Bridget Patterson. She was off straight away.
Again, it's professionalism out there from her, and Doddridge is doing a great job just to partner her out there, playing really, really well. Good communication with the running as we saw there, and just the way they've been scoring has been fantastic. They haven't put a foot wrong, really.
This time back and cutting behind point. There'll be more runs here for Patterson. And it's going to run all the way to the boundary for 4, is it? Yes, it is. Gets there now. The desperate dive by Heinze. Couldn't cut it off. In fact, it's not Heinze.
Hinsey.
Caitlin Edmonds. It is. My bad.
A good angle from our camera people. Ross doing a good job up here in the stands at the Karen Rolton Oval, but you can just see the Lightning outfield when you play them along the ground. Unfortunately, West Torrens didn't do enough of that. They played in the air and tried to hit over the infield, and you can start to see now that the runs are flowing when it's on the ground.
Cut again this time. There's coverage out there to the sweeper, Brooke Harris. So just a single to Patterson. Moves her total up to 48. It's 2 away from what would be a very well made half century. Fry to continue. This one well bowled. No run there. Shorter ball, cut. Then out to the sweeper. Harris does the work again. Another single. Kensington doing them in singles at the moment. Ends the over from Fry. And after 10 overs, the halfway mark, Kensington just need another 11 runs to win. Then no wicket for 78. So it's going to be Talia McGrath to continue. It's almost to the point, Tuggers, where you bring the field in and make them hit over the top.
That's probably...
Try and cause a bit of an upset, maybe a run out.
Well, right now, everything needs to be tried, and that's another solution that they can look to go to. Short ball played up in the air. There's no one there. It's going to fall just inside the circle. And they might get about 3 here. If they run fast enough, they will. Joseph has to chase that one down from deep square. There was no one out there at fine leg. So 3 more runs. And now she comes on strike. The one who's on 49. Bridget Patterson. 1 to get her 50. And 8 more runs to win. Cuts away through point. And a very fine half century for Bridget Patterson. From the word go, she decided to hit big. And she's hit big the whole way through. A very professional innings. And she's leading her side to victory here. The Kensington Browns in the T20 final. Really impressive.
It's been a quality knock from Bridget Patterson. Some of her driving down the ground early in the power play. Found the boundary on regular occasions. She's a class act.
Cut away again, this time in the air. It will go for 4. So they're within a boundary now. 3 runs to win as they close in on 89. And Doddridge that time moves to 30 with that shot. It's been a seriously good run chase from the Browns today. They did it all with the ball. Restricted West Torrens to a pretty modest total and now have done it in very quick time. So just taking their time in the field now to sort out where the players go, where she's going to hit to, where to bowl. So here we go, 3 runs to get. Well yorked. And keeps it out. A dot ball, 2 to come in the over here from McGrath.
Beautifully bowled by Talia McGrath. Bit of a wry smile on her face. A few words from Bridget Patterson. Obviously strikers teammates.
Yep. One of those times where it's okay to be friendly, but it's a bit hard to cop, I think, for Talia right now. Short ball, in fact, sorry, it's a yorker. Eyes deceived me on the screen there. Kept out nicely, another dot. And Doddridge just keeping it out with 3 runs to go. 2 to tie.
Better go to Specsavers, mate.
I might. There's something about how I viewed that. Just made it look like it was short on the screen, but I'll look a little closer. Final ball, the 11th. That's a good yorker once more and kept out from Doddridge. End of 11. No loss. And 86 on the board. It's been a very, very good chase here from Kensington, and we're moments away from seeing them take out the T20 Cup.
Hope you enjoyed the coverage on Adelaide live stream. This is the Statewide Super T20 Cup Grand Final. West Torrens versus Kensington. And the captain, Jess Joseph, is going to bring herself on to bowl what is likely to be the final over. So there it is. Bridget Patterson brings up the winning runs. The sweep shot behind square all the way to the boundary for 4 as the Kensington girls race onto the field and celebrate a stunning victory. And there they are, embracing. No wicket down. They get the runs, Tuggers. What a great effort, and congratulations to the Kensington Browns.
This broadcast is brought to you by West End, Statewide Super, the South Australian Cricket Association, and Adelaide Livestream.